Hi Flashtube, it's Diane. Today is April 27th, 2024, and I hope you've all had a good April. Only a few more days and it'll be May. It's just weird. Trying to figure out how to... It's like I've never done these videos before. Although this year's my 10th anniversary. And I just got my hair cut and this thing just... it's like, stay down. But I have some life news and then I'll jump in. So please bear with me for a couple minutes because the life news affects my stitching. So I mentioned last video that one of my sons gifted my husband and I tickets to Tim Hopkins, and I didn't realize when I first received him that he had purchased the VIP, so we had to meet Mr. Hopkins. So my husband and myself. It was in Kenosha, Wisconsin. It was interesting because they didn't have people directing traffic and VIP. You get in earlier and all that, and we figured it out though. But while we were gone, the same son proposed to his girlfriend, and she said yes. And here's a picture of her ring. She prefers emeralds, so he purchased an emerald. So yeah, there you go. It was funny because I can't remember if it was November or December last year, he asked what my husband and I were doing that weekend in April. I looked at the calendar and there was nothing on it. And I thought, oh, he's going to propose that weekend. Didn't say anything, no pressure, nothing. And he did. They are looking at getting married. Ideally, they'd like to get married this December. Trying to find a venue and blah, 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 blah. And can you explain to me? I mean, weddings are fun, but they're a start of a marriage. They're not the goal. So why would you saddle a young couple with $30,000 of debt? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying that just because, well, you know, you've been married 30 years. No. Sorry about that. My nose is kind of running a little bit. Yeah, why saddle them with debt like that? And my son's like, Mom, if I had $30,000, I'd be buying a house. And I'm like, I understand. So she's really nice, so I get another daughter. And that does influence future plans. But I quickly watched part of my previous video to know what I had shown. And I do have a new start. I can't remember where I put everything. Whoops. Oops, there. And my new start, Caron Stitchery Designer Focus, Philadelphia Vine by the Scarlet House. In the month of April, he was focused on this particular designer. And I've had this and I've wanted to stitch it. I am using the called for colors. And some of them, okay, she doesn't say how many skeins you need. But there's a couple of them. I'm like, I think I'm going to need a second. So I got a second of those particular colors. This one is not a gigantic sampler. It could easily fit. This is a fat quarter. I think it could fit on a fat eighth, on 40 count anyway, not 32 count. But this is 40 count Havana. Or is it 36? Let me just double check on that. I'm pretty sure it's 40. Yes. Havana by Weeks Dye Works. And so I started this one. And here's how far I am. Those colors are just beautiful on this piece of fabric. The reason I stopped is I thought, oh, you know, if I had turned it this way, because I'm kind of a fabric miser, if I counted right, it's only going to go to about here. So I thought, oh, I should have put it that way. But you know what? I'm just going to go with it. And I'll use the scraps for ornaments or something. I'm not going to restart it. Because I toyed with the idea of turning it and restarting it, but no. I'm not going to worry about it. Did I put the pattern back in here? Yes, I did. But then, I'm not sure if it was as I was stitching this one or not. One of my previous whips called to me. It's by Sampler Cove Designs. I was going to pull this is the second one of her patterns I've done. I was going to pull the finish. I won't worry about it today, but it's called The Greatest Loss. Sampler Cove. And this section here with the flowers, that's what caught my eye. The colors are just beautiful. And when I last showed it, I need like 5 hands here. I had all of this finished. And I was working just a little bit. I had just a little bit of the purple done on this Assisi band. But, okay, what does this do? Oh no, I pulled it out of my needle. Okay, don't want to lose that. I'm using the called for Veriswa 1 strand over 2 threads on 40 count. Platinum. Here's where I'm at now. I still have them on my roller frame, and I don't want these because they're split. So if I let go of the tension, I'll have to redo it all. So I was down to here, and I finished this CC band, which is not hard. It's a little tedious because the purple is all full cross, and then you go back. I'll do a zoom here in just a minute. Then you go back with this dark gold, and you do all the little back stitching, pretty much every open space in there. And it's like, this is the entire band here. So you have a little border at top, the main part, little border at the bottom. Same here, here, all the way up. This one, I just finished the gold part last night. And I have all the blue. I had most of these blues done down here, but I was off a stitch, and yes, I kept going, oh, can I fudge it? No, I couldn't fudge it because you have to go back with these gold here, and that would throw this off. So I had started just off enough it would mess up the whole thing. So I had to rip out a bunch of those, otherwise it'd be farther along. So I need to finish putting the gold in here and in this band here, and then that band, which is not named, will be done. I'm trying to remember where I've seen this pattern before. I don't know if it's English influence, Spanish influence, maybe Italian influence. Not sure. But we have full cross in this band here. This one with a lot of back stitching, so give that black work look. This one's a little bit of a specialty stitch, but honestly you could do this one on Ada. Full cross, full cross. That one's back stitched. This one you could not do on Ada because it's the queen stitch, which I had never done before, but I figured it out. You couldn't do that on Ada. I really don't think you could do that on Ada. These are back stitch. You could do those on Ada, full cross. Then you have your eyelets through here. The 4-sided stitch, yes, you could do on Ada. here you could definitely do this band on Ada and this band. So this is the only band here that you could not do on Ada, and this one with the eyelets you could just do big Smyrnas in the middle. But I'm trying to get this part so I can get the last, another row of words, and then I get that big flower section. The section that really drew my attention to this piece. This section here. Here. Most of this is full cross. There are eyelets in the leaves. I think in the leaves. I know definitely in the flowers. And four-sided stitch, and then there's Smyrnas. So when I'm done with this, I could tell you if you could do that on Ada. I think you could. But with those queen stitch, if that row, that band, I think you could probably, I don't know if you could do full cross on it. But there might be another stitch you could do instead that could work on Ada. And then this is just full cross. So I have this much left to do. I'm over halfway done. And this one just called to me. And the colors are just beautiful. I left them over there. There's purples. 3 different purples, 3 different blues, 3 different golds, and 2 different greens. So it'll be nice to have that one done. That is the one's calling to me now, and I've just been going with it. So I have not touched Feather Fairy, which is my other WIPCO number for April. My numbers for May: New Start, Fancy Lady, and then the Free Space was also called. So I will see what is what. And I cannot remember the Garan Stitchery for May. I can't see it. Oh, it's a Stacy Nash. I only have one Stacy Nash chart, and I've already stitched it once. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing that because in May here, my son graduates first weekend in May, and then the next weekend is Mother's Day, and then the third weekend we have recital for the kids' piano for the school year, the end of the year recital. And then I think it's Memorial Day, isn't it? I think there's only 4 weekends in May this year. I do not remember. No, there are. Yeah. There's 4 Sundays. 4 Saturdays and 4 Sundays in May this year. So graduation, that's an all-day thing. My parents are coming in. I believe my mother-in-law, possibly both my in-laws, are going to be in town for the graduation ceremony. And then Mother's Day is the following weekend. And then recital, and then Memorial Day. Yeah. We're also wrapping up our homeschool. Some of the kids have their math done. Some of them have their science done. And we roll into our year. So we don't start day 1 with all the subjects. That way they kind of roll off. It just helps us. It works so much better for us. That's really all I have stitching-wise. Kenosha does not have a stitching store, but they do have a quilting store. And we stopped. This one is at the Serenity Quilt Shop. It's near Lake Michigan because we walked along Lake Michigan. It was windy, but it was nice. You could have a hoodie. Nice, because it's still, April in Minnesota, although this was Wisconsin. So Lake Michigan, and there's a beach down there. We walked along that. Seeing if I have any other pictures to show. Nope. When I was at the Serenity Quilt Shop, they had this one. It was a model, and it was a free pattern. Plaid Sash-ay. So it was a free pattern. Wilmington prints. I do not know if it's online or anything like that, but the block is not what, there's only one block in this. It's not what you think it is. I thought, oh, there's this block and there's this one, and then, nope. Nope. But you use 10-inch squares. And their model used this fabric, Springtime by Riley Blake. It's all still wrapped in plastic, but you could look in the back here. Do I have it upside down? No, I do not. So, flowers and the bunnies. They're so cute. And the ginghams and the plaids and stuff. So, I'm going to do these two, because it was just cute, and it makes a full-size quilt, 70 by 81 inches. So it'll be a nice one to snuggle up on the couch. And then Tim Hawkins, I got a picture. And there was a couple next to us from Wilmington, Illinois, which I think is a suburb of Chicago. She was surprised that Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Mall of America is, that's not where we live. But anyway, I gave her, they gave us 2 pictures, and I'm like, we only need 1. So I gave her 1. This is called Sassy Animals by Connie Haley for 3 Wishes Fabric. It's called Shining Sea. I'm very sophish-tastic. Tactic fish. Sophish-tastic. Oh, sorry. Sophisticated. Misread it. Wanna horse around. Of course, this was a model on their wall. You tentacle my fancy. And then the middle, this is all one panel. Let's see. You are totally awesome. I'm a sure thing. I'm gonna say that one to last. Don't be shellfish. Let's make some waves. Seize the day. Oh my cod. Codfish. So I don't know if I'm going to cut this panel apart and do something with it, or just put a border on, and it'd be cute. They had it hanging on the wall. It was really cute. So I've done others in this series, or I've bought other panels in this series, and I need to finish, yeah. Part of the joy of our crafts or collecting, I know. But I also picked up this book by Creekside Stitches, Slice of Home. And it has 5 quilts using 10-inch blocks, which are called layer cakes or jewels. There's different names. It depends on the company. I'm trying to find pictures. So you have the one on the front, and then you have these guys in the back. And I really like this one, which looks a lot more complicated than it is. Yeah, Serenity Quilt Shop. Because my future daughter-in-law likes emerald, I found this 10-pack emerald fabrics, right? Or emerald forest, I'm sorry. And they're all these really deep greens. and pairing that with White Out 10 Karat Gems by Wilmington. Both of these are by Wilmington. These are white on white, so you might not be able to see too many of the patterns. Putting them together in that one that I showed. So, a gift for her, Christmas gift for her. And my children. Shh. Now the truck will be getting the time to do it. But the quilt shop here, Quilted Treasures in Rogers, Minnesota, I did their quilt a quarter. I'm trying to remember where I put. So we finished gathering all the pieces and parts for, sorry, my foot's falling asleep here. It's an autumn themed quilt. So for April, May, June, we're going to be collecting pieces for this one called Switch-a-roo by Rosa Designs. Sugar Pine Quilts. So they designed this for this company, and these are the colors for the first month. Batiks. Love batiks. And I have seen the model for, so this goes June, April, May, June. For July, August, September, I've seen that quote, that model, and yeah, I'm going to do that one too. They haven't picked one for October, November, December. So I will see what they come up with for that. I'm going to assume at this point it's kind of Christmas themed or winter themed, but they're waiting for the fabric companies to put out their latest line. And then for my son and his future wife, I'm going to stitch Let Love Rain, Teresa Kogut. And I'm going to stitch the big guy, this one. And it's charted for mostly DMC, a couple of overdyes. I also thought of doing this little one for them and changing it, but I'm going to go with the big guy. Excuse me. I seem to have the hiccups. Let's see what I'm trying to find the size. It's a little bigger. There we go. You need just a little more than a fat quarter. So you could not do like a 17 by 26, but an 18 by 27. I mean, a bit close on 40 count. This is 40 count Brenda's Brew by R&R. And through Garan Stitchery, I love stitching with silk. I mean, Havana is not, Gloriana is my favorite, and that's in Philadelphia Vine, wherever I put that. Havana, the 103s, Dinky Dyes, which is also used in the Philadelphia Vine and in many of the Glendon Place dessert mandalas. Let's see, what other silks have I used? I've used Thread Gather silks. I've used Fiberlicious silks. Planet Earth silks. I like Planet Earth silks a lot. I'm trying to think of other silk companies I've used. I know there are others out there, but I have not used the Vikki Clayton silks. And through Garan Stitchery, Vikki Clayton took the floss chart for Let Love Rain, and she made a silk pack. I have not opened it yet because they're all labeled with the name. And then here is, okay, here's the DMC color or the, I can't remember if it's Weeks or Classic Colorworks. Here's what you sub out. Sub this for that. I'm trying to figure out how I want to store these spools. I have a couple different ideas, but we'll see what I come up with to make it easy to use. You can't exactly string them on a string because then you lose this. And I don't want to lose that. So I have to think of some ideas to put these in. There are 16 spools, but some of the colors are duplicated. And you can go to Garand Stitchery. So those will go onto this fabric. 1 strand over 2 threads. 40 count for this piece. And I don't want to show the pattern. I'm trying not to break copyright here. This dark fabric was another color I was thinking, but it's going to be too dark. It's going to be too dark. It's woodland brown. It's going to be too dark. But for this piece, I'm going to leave that, put the year that they get married, and then down here instead of the alphabet, instead of the alphabet, put their names. Put their names here. I got to figure out where to put the date in there. I mean, I could put the year easily. I'll find a place to put the date. I've wanted to stitch this, but again, I was like, well, I have other ones to stitch. Now I have a reason to stitch it. Will I have it done before their wedding? There's the rub, if you will. I think that's all I have. It's definitely all I have haul-wise. May, graduation. I don't have any trips. June, I'm not doing anything homeschool-wise. I'm not doing anything major. We're still trying to fix the bathroom. We did put floor in our entryway, new flooring, and it looks really good, and that's the same flooring we put in the bathroom. But about the time we got all set up to do it, and you have windows open and all that, then the weather went. It's been really, really windy here and chilly, although it's starting to warm up now. Finally. But it's Minnesota. We've been having rain the last couple of days, and we need the rain. Because we didn't have as much snow as last year, which honestly, there are very, very few people I found actually complained about that, considering we set all sorts of records last year. So yeah, that's how I'm looking ahead to that. Finishing the upstairs bathroom, painting. I already know the color. I'm just going to paint the same color through most of the house as we're getting it ready to sell in the next year. Oh, there was one other thing I bought at my local quilt shop, Quilted Treasures. They had this. It's from this book, Peace and Love. Diane, Brinton, and Audrey Mann. Isn't that cute? The quilt that, there's some really cute ones in here. And that one on the cover is called Peace and Love. They have this quilt. Just cute. That'd be cute for a little baby quilt, maybe. They have a full picture of that one. Yes, they do. This one is called Spring Wreath. And this one is called Sundown. Very colorful. That would be fun for a young child. You're not quite a teen, but not a baby. It's a sunflower. What is it called? In Bloom. Is this guy? This is the one. Come on, where's the picture? Strawberry. And it's a wall hanging. And they had kitted it up. So I purchased the kit. And then obviously I purchased the book. This is Nordic Frost. This one. This is, I just keeping copyright. Peace and Light, Piece. and light. Oh, that's cute. I didn't... So it's not exactly centered, which adds a lot to it. That would be a nice one for a child too. Yeah, when I'm done with this, I'll have to send this one to my mom because she does a lot of quilts for charity. Christmas-y. It's called Peace, P-I-E-C-E, and Joy. And this one is called Peace and Quiet. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like a box of crayons or what. Oh no, mountains. Yeah, that's mountains. Paint box. Okay, this one's going to be tricky to show. Paint box. You could, if you wanted a full quilt, you could do that and then do a second one and flip it. That'd be cute. But again, it's by Martingale. I heard they were going out of business, but maybe somebody else picked them up. I'll put the ISBN in the description box below, but here's the quilt thing. And again, I wanted the strawberry, called Sweet Strawberry. And these are the colors that my quilt shop put together. It was pretty. These are the bigger background pieces. I had to take it apart a little bit to fit inside my box. Because I like to do boxes to store them so I could pull a project and kind of like a project bag, except I like the plastic boxes. But that book, I do not know if the quilt kits are still available from Quilted Treasures, but I'll put their name below. Rogers, Minnesota, R-O-G-E-R-S, Minnesota. I think it's just Quilted Treasures I'm going to say .net instead of .com. They do long arm. Yeah, .net. Quilted Treasures .net. So that's the name. .net. And they're really nice. We'll see if they still have it as of today. Sweet Strawberry. They do. It's a baby size quilt, but I want to make it to hang on my wall. So they still have it available. And yes, you can, I'm not sure if you can order it like yes, you can just order it online, or if you want, you can call the shop. But you need to, the pattern does not come with the kit, so you're going to have to purchase the book also. Oh, they do tunnels to towers. Oh, that is cool. I like this quilt shop. Mary, she's she's the owner, and the people she has working for her are great. Val, there's several different Lindas. I think there's a Diane, at least one Diane, if not more. But they work with Quilts of Valor. They work tunnels to towers. So in an emergency, after 9/11. So if an EMS person is injured or dies, I've heard of this organization from other places, they'll pay off their mortgage. They'll help them that way financially, which is a fabulous way to help others. But I think June I will do more quilting than stitching, which I tend to do anyway. But yeah, I'll come back sometime in May. And I know my glasses are glaring. I don't know how to fix this room. We'll just live with it. We'll just live with it. Maybe I need to turn that way again. I don't know. But 'tis what it is. I will talk to you all later. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, all the buttons, all the things. This again is my 10th floss tube anniversary in October, and mini dot will be 8, in October. It's just weird. It's weird. And my son's gonna get married. And he said, Mom, I'm walking you down the aisle. Okay. Okay. So, all new things coming. So, love to you all.